to order. I'll ask that you please rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Our loving Father God, we thank you for this day and the blessings that you bestow upon us. Thank you for allowing us to live in this world that we live in, develop relationships with the co-people that we come in contact with. Give us wisdom, give us understanding, give us love, give us a heart for caring for others. In thy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
You're doing it all tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. This is the meeting of the month where we introduce our new employees that have come on board to serve the people of the city of North Charleston. And it's an opportunity for the public to meet them and them to meet their council. And so this time I'm going to ask, as I call the name, to come forward. All of these are within the police agency. Hope N. Brown. And if I mess up some of these, I don't want anybody to get mad now. Jachik S. Kosinski. Wasn't too bad, was it? As long as I don't call you late to dinner, I understand. Joshua H. Injiro. I mess you up bad, son? Good. John E. Layton, Jr., Andrew E. Brooker, Jamie K. Sylvester, and Delvante D. Elliott.
Sir, do you have the one employee from the Public Works Department?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And from our Public Works Department, Terrence Logan. Terrence here. Thank you, buddy. Council, y'all turn around and look at council. This is your new hires for the city. And we want to challenge y'all. This is a great opportunity to make a living by serving other people, trying to make their lives better. And I know for those of you who are coming into law enforcement, it's a challenging time right now. But it's also a real great time to make a difference in the world that we live in, make a difference in relationships in the world that we live in. So we salute you for wanting to become someone from public safety that wants to protect and serve. And we thank you for coming in and being a part of this great city. And this council will do everything within its power to give you the tools you need to do your job, and we will sit there and support you as long as you're doing what's right, and I know that's what you are. Unfortunately, and I've laid off of this a lot, there's one or two people that can make a mistake, and all of us get painted by the same brush, but that is not the case. We have a caring and wonderful police agency. Our Public Works Department, you come in on to the best looking public works facility in the country, and we're glad to have you on board. Thank you for coming in and helping us work to keep our community better. God bless you. Welcome aboard, and we hope you're here with us for a very long time. Thank you. Yeah, dismiss. Madam Clerk, please continue with the printed agenda.
Okay. Forgot my notebook. First item is a request to approve the minutes from the July 21st, 2016 special meeting of the City Council.
Move for approval.
Motion and a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds?
Aye.
I didn't think she was here. Mr. Hart? Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 2 is a request to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of July 28th, 2016.
I second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, the clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds? Mr. Hart? Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is the final reading of an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of the unused right-of-way on Empire Avenue to the adjacent owners.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds? Mr. Hart? Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 4 is the first reading and a public hearing for an ordinance adopting a bill annexing an area known as 52D, addressed as 2609 and 2613 Doyle Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 41114, lots 14 and 15, making it part of the present City Council District 5, amending the zoning map of the City of North Charleston to rezone the properties as identified from Charleston County's R4 single-family residential 4 to M1 light industrial, and amend the comprehensive plan for the same parcels, changing it from heavy industrial to light industrial, as well as adopting the FEMA firm panel shown, dated November 17, 2004, by reference as a part of this ordinance.
Good evening, Mayor Summy, members of council. Next slide, please.
Oh, yeah.
As stated, this rezoning and annexation involves the property identified as 2609 and 2613 Doyle Avenue from Charleston County's designation of R4 residential zoning to light industrial. The parcels are also identified as TMS number 41114, parcels 14 and 15. The property owner is Mary Belton et al. The applicant is Mr. Jason Corse. When combined, the parcels are 9,482 square feet in size and is located in Council District 5. Next, please. These are photographs of the site at the time the properties were posted. This is a top view aerial photograph of the site. Both parcels are vacant. They're positioned south of Dorchester Road. They're located between Doyle and Industrial Avenues. Direct across the site, from the site on Doyle Avenue, there's a detailing shop. At the corner of Dorchester and Doyle, there's a vacant, what appears to have been a gas and convenience station. The parcels are also located within an area that was industrially zoned and used. This map displays the existing zoning in the area. The areas that are hatched, they're located in unincorporated Dorchester County. Parcel that is 15 is adjacent to a parcel that is zoned heavy industrial. While parcel 14 is located is adjacent to an M1 zone parcel. Next, please. This map displays a proposal to change the comprehensive development plan future land use designation from heavy industrial to light industrial. The applicant is proposing to rezone the property so he can take advantage of a less intense building setback. The M2 will require the applicant to develop a site using the setbacks for front and rear of 50 feet with a 100 feet side yard setback along both sides. When combined, the two parcels are only 120 feet in depth, which makes it a little difficult. If he gets the M1 zoning, he'll be able to observe a 25-foot front setback along with 10 feet along the side and rear. While the parcel does not meet the minimum lot area requirement of half acre for M1, staff does not believe that it will be a detriment to the community as it's in an industrially zoned and used area. Accordingly, staff recommends approval of the request to rezone along with the proposal to amend the comprehensive development plan map from heavy industrial to light industrial in support of the change. Planning Commission concurred.
Any questions of Ms. Winfrey?
Just a comment, Mr. Mayor. Gwen, thank you so much for your thoroughness on that, and I will say as district councilman, I haven't heard from anybody on this, but looking at it and the conditions set and parameters surrounding it, it is entirely industrial. And for that reason, I think it's very justified to do a down zoning, which is an enhancement, if you will.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, there's no residential areas around this one. Great job.
Any other questions? Hearing none, this is an advertised public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue, please come forward, state your name, address for the record, and give us your remarks. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue?
I'm here really to make corrections to my past public comment that I did make in regard to this. We made public comment to CPW recently, also Public Works, and we made comment there. And we made also make public comment here in the Department of Commerce, Nikki Haley and everybody else. This says 29402. That means that when I came to this meeting, my physical address are recognized by the state of South Carolina. This, as a DOT book, I was DOT certified as a minority vendor in 2007. This is a serious book here. Okay, this is prosecutory by U.S. Attorney, I'll say the Attorney General, and this was 29417. So therefore, all public comments made by me was made by me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to speak on this issue? Hearing none, without objection, it's referred to the Public Safety Committee, which will meet next Thursday at 5 o'clock.
Item 5 has a long title. It's the first reading and a public hearing of an ordinance adopting a bill annexing an area known as 52B, parcels along Delamar Highway, identified as Dorchester County TMS 178-0101, lots 41 and 42, and making it part of the present City Council District 9, amend the zoning map of the city of North Charleston to rezone the properties as identified from Dorchester County's TRM transitional residential zoning to B2 general business, and amend the comprehensive plan for the same parcels, changing from conservation to major business retail, as well as adopting the FEMA firm panel shown, dated November 17th, 2004.
Gwen?
Next slide, please. As stated, this is an annexation rezoning involving the parcels identified as 178-0101, parcels 41 and 42, from Dorchester County zoning of transitional residential to B2 general business. The property owner is Norton Properties III, LLC. The applicant is Ms. Alice Norton. The parcels are, parcel 41 is 4.82 acres in size, while parcel 42 is 7.37 acres in size. Parcels will be located in Council District 9. These are photographs of the site at the time the parcels were posted. Next, please. This is a top view aerial photo of the site. The parcels are vacant and wooded. It's down the street from the Ashley Ridge High School and is also near a residential community. This is the existing zoning. The parcels that are hatched are located in unincorporated Dorchester County, while it's adjacent to single-family zoning in our area and near the Watsonville track. This map shows the proposal to amend the comprehensive development plan future land use map, changing the designation from conservation to B2 to major business retail in support of the B2 zoning. Okay, the properties are located off Delmar Highway, which is near the Watsonville track. The applicant is seeking to rezone the property so they can develop it for B2 general business use. The parcel in question is also located across from the terminus of a planned parkway, which will run through the Summers Corner large residential development, which is part of the East Edisto project. The parcel meets the minimum lot area requirement for B2 of 12,000 square feet. And while it's not adjacent to any B2 zone parcels, it is across the street from Dorchester County's Dorchester County parcels that are zoned for mixed-use community, which will allow for a range of uses dealing from agricultural development, single and multifamily residential, commercial, as well as manufacturing. Accordingly, staff recommends approval of the request to rezone and also a proposed amendment to change the comprehensive development plan map from conservation to major business retail in support of the zoning change.
Any questions by council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
this is a part of the Watson Hill footprint, correct?
It's
It's adjacent
adjacent to the Watson Hill.
Well, it's not
This
adjacent,
is-
it's
this
near.
would be a new piece added to the Watson Hill annexation.
But it's already in our city, correct?
No, not
Okay,
these
so
two
we're going to
pieces.
annex it and change the zoning?
Correct. If it came into the city now, it would have a single-family zoning designation.
When you emerged victorious, Mr. Mayor, with Watson Hill, was that all conservation? Was it admitted to the city as conservation?
No, it was actually admitted for development, that was going to be, housing, commercial, it was almost like a whole community, because it's so large.
I'm just curious,
The
I've got no
desi-
problem with this. What is the zoning for Watson Hill per se?
Watson Hill is, I believe, is split zone B2 and R2.
B2 and R2.
Okay.
Although, when Westvaco bought it back, they,
East Eddie stuff.
right, they said they're not going to develop it for that usage.
Was a PDD considered for this, Lynn?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, this is an advertised public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and give us your remarks. Anybody wishing to speak?
As a former BZA member in 99, 2006 in Charleston County, I made public comment, Charleston Water Systems, and Capstone was given a favorable support by the body at the Water Systems meeting. At the meeting was a disparity, though, regarding rates. The rates were $1.35 for some people, 65 cents for other people, almost 40% difference. And so the concern would then be the objectives of the systemic examinations of evidence to provide an independent assessment of performance and management of programs of CPW. Legislative, regulatory, organizational goals are being achieved. Relative cost benefits of a program and validity of reliability performance measures have to be considered seriously in dealing with the issues with Capstone and with Westvaco and with East West and the whole situation. I've been told that my public comments have not been taken really well by them based upon being at CPW's meeting 3 times. And again, I'm not against what they're doing. I'm just concerned about the rates.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to speak on this issue? Hearing none, without objection, it's referred to the Public Safety Committee, which meets next Thursday at 5 o'clock.
Ready to move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 6 is a resolution verifying the results of the August 4th, 2016 real property auction.
Have a motion, have a second. Let me explain what's happening. We're only going to sell one parcel of property. That's the $49,000 TMS 471-1600-14-1. It's the only one that brought at least appraised value in the auction. So we're going to move forward with that sale. We will then start moving forward with trying to sell the remaining properties if we can get somebody to pay us appraised value.
This is referred to.
Yes, sir. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jameson? Aye. Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds? Mr. Hart? Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Sir, the first speaker that we had signed up, Mr. Garland, has withdrawn his request to address.
Okay. The next person to speak is Anthony. Right? Anthony, give us your address just for the record, my friend.
Based upon the Department of Commerce, 29403, Anthony G. Bryant, 213 Cortland Avenue, South Carolina, 29403, or based upon DOT 229417, depends upon that. I purchased a laptop in North Charleston in 2012, and I looked in the newspaper and saw the City of North Charleston Police Department, the Somerville Police Department, with a mugshot of the person who sold me the computer in Charleston County's website. And so therefore, I'm deeply concerned about folk who have secondhand computer access in this country and selling secondhand computers. I'm a BZA member, formally understand how cell phone towers are used and how they keep data. And local folk don't understand how that data is held and how it's transferred over. Secondly, the school year is 1,300,000 young people will be chronically homeless in America. And that's a deep concern of mine, and we hope that we get more Literacy Solutions grant annual action plan money for those folk. Also, is a book I want to share with you called Line in the Lobby by Clarence Mitchell Jr. on modern civil rights. I didn't have it last week for the young people who were here. It's an outstanding by Clarence Mitchell Jr., who was an outstanding direct lobbyist for the NAACP, and this is one of my heroes. And this is my model, my work that I do. Secondly is the 86 South Carolina Constitution. Everybody's had this Constitution. Everybody who's a citizen in this state should own this Constitution. It's relevant to Robert Smalls, who laid the groundwork down for public education in South Carolina. Would be no public education in South Carolina without Robert Smalls in this Constitution. So I'm deeply concerned about that. And also domestic violence. There was no money in the Emergency Solution Grant Annual Action Plan for domestic violence. We hear people talk about defense all the time, but there's no money available. Wasn't any real dollars available for shelters around the state, if that's the concern of the Attorney General and others and whatnot. So I'm deeply concerned about those issues, despite my reputation being maligned in such a slow fashion. I'm not currently homeless. I'll still exit. You know what I mean, this is the kind of games that people play in this country. They play with your physical address to humiliate you. So I'm Ellingtonian tonight. I had a cool suit on because I love Duke Ellington. And your response to people that are ignorant is you always be intelligent with them, okay? Because that's what it's all about for me. On last week, it was a great meeting I had, but it was really about the Constitution and the Fourth Amendment. And it was really about everybody's rights, right? It wasn't about lives, it was about rights and privileges in the Constitution. And that's what you should be working on, having 4 strategies to protect people, protect the government, protect themselves, and guard against transient impressions. And that's Thomas Jefferson. That's James Madison. Have a nice holiday and have a nice school year.
Thank you, my friend. Anything else to come before the body? Hearing nothing, meeting's adjourned.